On behalf of Charter College, I'm Elizabeth, and I welcome you to the third week of Microsoft Word. It is a quiet summer night here in Ann Arbor, Michigan. You probably can't pick it up in the background, but I hear that delightful sound of summer frogs and neekbreakers. I have been focusing on teaching by the ribbons and making things in context. They're laid out by engineering from left to right. From the very first class all the way to the end, I am going across the insert ribbon, and I'll show that to you live in Word in just a second. Tonight, I had to pick the most important topic. I chose tables, and I'll show you how it works. We'll be using advanced layout and formatting, and we're going to be making a digital flyer, an online flyer. Here are the documents I was queuing up. In the first week, Abbott and Costello, I was using the home ribbon and working from left to right, the clipboard group, font, paragraph. In test out, they grabbed the idea that paragraph shows up in two places, home ribbon, and that's inside the paragraph, the spacing, the alignment. The other place that paragraph was found was the layout ribbon. There. Not just text, but how the graphics work with this. When I click on a picture of Abbott and Costello, there's an anchor over here because Word was based off a typewriter. No joke. Everything is referenced as a digital typewriter would be. So the picture is anchored and measured by TWIPS. That's the name of the measurement from this anchor left and from the margin top down. So what I was looking at was text wrapped tight, where the picture can float. And I taught a few things about how to work with the guidance on that. Keep going. Week 2. It's still a print document. And here I did a document that's used very well at work. It communicates something and it's a known format. I have a headline that calls out the important topic. And we talked about in formatting, my headline can be decorative. I can use something very elegant like Times New Roman. My body copy, what I was working with again was the paragraph group. See, it is justified. That means on the left and the right, the type is even. Usually, it is flush left, rag right. Rag right meaning it doesn't break all the words up with hyphenations or lots of white spaces between them. But for a layout like this, a newsletter, we expect it. And that came up in our discussion, and it was well said by a couple people. The document does determine the formatting and the layout. A newsletter is a print layout. What I had fun with and what I wish I had more time to teach was how Word and Excel and even PowerPoint all link together. They're made to go together. In a print layout, my columns are referencing to those anchors. There it is. If I go to the ribbon for view, and note, by default, Microsoft Word is print layout. It was built as page and paginations. However, since about 2010 to 2013, almost 80% of everything we do is no longer printed. It was a huge change. Smartphones came into being, really being. It's web layout, and watch what happens. Here's our beautiful, beautiful layout. Everything's where it should be. We figured it out. We lined them to the margins. And when I go to web layout, now you can cry. That is a very ugly layout. And if I tried to see that on a device, a tablet, or a phone, it's difficult to read. But as print layout, it was elegant, beautiful, and well done. So tonight, I'm introducing a different way. There. This is a layout. It's a digital layout. I can see a column on the left where I have my graphic. What I'm building is an online document. What I'm building will have a linky link here to a video, a link to my website. I'll use SmartArt to make an infographic. If I have time, I would make each one of these a link as well to a topic of interest. For me, I'm pretending this is a flyer to come to our circus. Now watch. This is laid out in a table. And when I go to view, it is in print layout. And I'm using print layout to do a well-formatted document and that my table matches what's called well-conformed web design, W3 design. All right, web layout. Look, it stays the way it's supposed to. The table helps like a shadow box, keeps everything the way I want it. It didn't scramble like the other one did when we had it in a 2-column newsletter print layout. So this is going to have very pleasing results on a tablet, or if I flip it, as my phone does, it'll keep things as they should be. And it's easy for my customers or my clients to use. Nothing gets scrambled. All right then. Let's go back to the objectives. We're going to be working on an advanced layout. The menu maps or the ribbons that I'm working on are the insert ribbon, insert a table, insert pictures, insert an online video, insert a hyperlink, and then keep going. The other ribbon we're going to be working on is tables. Stay. There's 2 table ribbons. I am going to start with a blank document. In our chat, good. In our class, what are the readings? Test Out had two very big topics this week, working with graphics and working with the tables. Boy, that broke my heart to choose between one and the other because I wanted them both. So, for the illustrations, I've come up with this called Fancy Colors. It's one I enjoyed. Note, if you guys are looking at the Crayola colors, look what it says on the box. Claire gave it to me. Ha ha. It's retired colors. She's not making fun of me, is she? Anyway, the ribbon in here is just the picture tools from left to right, from the adjustment, the styles, and how to work with them on a page. I think you would enjoy this lesson, and I posted it already in our discussion group. I would like to open a new document in 1 second while I get a blank one on the screen. Wait for it. Oh, Toto, we're home. It's Microsoft Word, and it's one of my favorite applications. On the screen, I would like to start with a table and put everything as the table as a shadow box. In Microsoft Word, it's insert a table. And I can draw the table. My table will be 3 across, 3 down. On your screen is a table, and it is highlighted by 2 ribbons, Table Design, Table Layout. And if you look at the Table Layout ribbon, I'm looking at you guys who are in my Excel class. These are cousins. These are almost identical ribbons for how to work with the rows and columns in Excel. Look, there they are, rows and columns. Add above, below, left, and right. Delete them as I wish, okay? Alignment, left, right, top, bottom, middle. We've seen some of these before. Now, I'd like to use them to make my layout. Just like in Excel, there's also the same naming. Rows go across. This is row 1, row 2, row 3. Columns go down. I have a black arrow to select the column A, column B, column C. I've placed my cursor in row 1 on the table layout ribbon, table layout. It's table select what? I'm going to select the row. It goes beyond the 3 cells and selects a little piece of coding that I want to show and tell. Home, paragraph, show hide. See those little formatting options? Those define my cells and where my table is. That's how Word knows this structure. Show hide turn off, back to table layout. The ribbon that I want is table layout and the group I want is merge. I'm going to merge the cells into a large cell. This will be where my headline is. Here, these 2 cells in column A, I would like to merge for the picture of the clown. So the ribbon that I want is table layout, merge the cells. These 2 cells I want to merge for my body copy and where the video goes. Merge them. Merge them. Watch how the table is dynamic as I add my text, my graphics, and the video. Here we go. The circus is coming to town. I have highlighted the text and copied it here from my sample document. The circus is coming to town. Here in this cell, I want to add my sizzle, my marketing enticements. We're going to have clowns, elephants, and performers. It's going to be in My Town Plaza, and it's going to be November 7th, 2023. See how the table is dynamic? Enter, enter. I'm placing 2 blank lines between my body copy and where I'm going to have the video. I like spacing between my objects. Here we go. The circus is coming to town. I have triple-clicked the words so that they're highlighted, and I am going to use, let's choose a style. We have heading 1, heading 2. I like title. Clowns, elephants, and performers. Home. Styles. Let's make that a heading 1. My Town Plaza. Home. Styles. Let's make that a heading 2. November, the date, the call to action. Let's go back and make that a heading. Which did we choose before? A title. So what do you see automatically from the type that we're looking at? The circus is coming to town. Boom. We're at what? It's November 7th. It's popping at you. My cursor is where I would like to have a graphic that'll tell the story, the picture of the clown. The ribbon that I want is insert. We did insert a table. Now I'm going to insert a picture. With your permission, I'm going to drag and drop one, which is also a way of inserting a picture. For me, teaching live, it's when I was going insert a picture and using Windows functions that I would lose you in my live lectures. So there's a graphic. Look what happened to the table. First of all, when I click on the picture of Emmett Kelly, the hobo clown, excuse me, one last thing. If I select the table, I can take off the borders. My husband used to call those training wheels, and when we were doing design on paper as a key liner, we had a non-photo blue pencil that we would pencil in the table first. For us, in the digital world, I'm going to go to Table Design, Borders, No Borders. What do you see? You see the grid lines. And I'm going to select this table layout, table. I don't see the grid lines. This is what it looks like on its own. I think I'll do one thing. Shoop, shoop, shoop. Center this. Perfect. Now, if I select the entire table and go copy, first, this is what it looks like as a web layout. Very nice. It stays in its shape. If I go to Microsoft Outlook, here's a new email and paste that. Ha! Now you've got something to send to your customers. I'm going to do like we did in the one of our courses with Outlook and make sure that my subject gets their attention. But here now I have formatted my entire email message using Word as my designer. I appreciate working in the print layout. Put the grid lines back on. So I could use this as my editor. We took less than, 15 minutes, maybe 20 if I slowed down. And I got a wonderful design that I could brand with my design colors, my design theme, my company's font. Why? Because McDonald's always has a yellow M. It doesn't have a blue one. What was fun is seeing that this could be part of my email campaign. It did not have to be a print layout. Where have I seen this before? Right here. This is a day out with Thomas the Tank. Yes, and in fact, when I hit reply, you will see, wait for it, the pictures will load up. There it is. There's my table. You see it? It has one column here, a big column in the center, and the others. This helps keep it on the page, nicely said. But there you see, there's a row just like we were working in Word. There's the table tools. A hyperlink to buy tickets. And there's the table laid out in columns with the graphic of our customers and our sponsors. Social proof, social media, clicky clicky for Facebook, Pinterest, et al. Way cool. Outlook uses all the tools that are in Word, including table design. The circus is coming to town. The icing on the cake was to take that whole design, that whole table, and paste it here into Outlook. Now, I can mail merge that to all of my groups. There you go, customers, friends, and family. This video will play. It'll hyperlink for them. Okay. The test out has a couple of labs, but I don't think you'll have any problems. I haven't had anyone say that there was a glitch in how it did it like some of the Excel lessons we had. But do reach out if you have something. No swearing. I put the link to the lesson that I was doing in the chat because there's more steps into it than I have done. In the video that I prepared that goes with it can focus deep into some of the options on the tools. For me, the big takeaway is when you're working on this, there's ribbons everywhere. Table ribbons has tools. If I'm into SmartArt, now I have two for SmartArt, SmartArt design, SmartArt format. The table also has design and its formatting. The picture has its own tools. So you're lighting up ribbons all over the place. For me, practicing in real Word and not just the simulator, I got to play with what I was clicking on and watching what activates me. I think you will like this lesson. And if you gave yourself a few minutes to do this in Word, I think you'll find this very, very, very useful instead of struggling with columns, page breaks, and some of the more print difficult ways. Besides, our customers are going to be reading it on their phone anyways. I prepared two things to help us with our topic because I can get lost into the emotion of an image. But there is a science to this. I put the link in. It's the Nielsen group, the TV group. And the question was, will people look at images or not? So what they did is they said, okay, people will look at people pictures if they are real pictures. And here they have a company roster for a company. And the eye tracking showed, I'm going to zoom in for a second. Doosh, doosh. Photos are good if they're real. I'm going to search for your name and say, okay, that's Laura or that's Daisy. And when I find you over in the table here and say, okay, this is the Laura I want, notice how they honed in on it. Didn't get this one, didn't want this one. Pictures are good if they're real. People ignore generic stock photos, and this is the Yale School of Management, so you'd think they would have thought about this. But the picture they have on the right isn't at Yale, isn't of the students in their classroom, isn't how they would be working in the Yale School of Management. But people ignored it. And the Nielsen study showed that the text and what they needed to get answered is where they honed in. Is this the class I want? How do I get in? Basically. Now, pictures are good if they're products. And I have Pottery Barn on the left and Amazon on the right. I know you've seen Amazon. And look at that. That's a table. It has 4 columns. The left-hand column is my navigation on both pages. And these 3 columns use the picture to help people find the product they want. So pictures are good if this is the product I want. Marco Polo. Big photos are good when I can zoom in on the details. Is this the Cat 5 I want? If the information tells me something, people will look at the picture. If it's just to make a feeling, fluff. This is a nice picture, good contrast, good use of red to pull you in, but it didn't work. It simply doesn't tell a story. All right, that's the Nielsen group, and that's evidence-based. You know, that's where I come from. I could get way in the weeds of emotion, and I'm going to say, please don't. I appreciate an opinion, but let's go backwards and say, what am I using to tell my story? And here, Domo, Data Never Sleeps 9.0. How much data is generated every minute? The cool part of this, if you look at this infographic, this is almost all image-based. Snapchat, TikTok, Discord, well, obviously Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I'm not seeing anything here that's basically all text-based. We are way cool, and I have queued up 1 minute of Emmett Kelly and Carol Burnett. Please allow me to play that, and then we'll be done. I will stay online after I turn off the recording. On behalf of Charter College, I'm Elizabeth and I welcome you and thank you for your time tonight. Good night.